we have. This is the largest cloud that runs in India. There are 10,000 physical servers, almost 7,600 network and security devices, and the storage is a 250 petabytes. That's a massive amount of data. That storage is huge. Now, the second thing that I would say is that this has also powered a lot of our innovations. It's powered the safe network on the spam solution. It's powering the AI-led personalization where each individual customer has an offer from us. It's powering our financial services business where we have been able to, using our intelligence, credit score over 90 million users on our platform with a telco credit score in addition to what the Bureau would offer. And finally, I'm also delighted that for the first time in our history, and I would also say the first telco in India, we have now extended this and we've already contracted multi-million-dollar deals with telcos around the world. So Singtel is a customer now of ours. They are picking up the Serve platform. The Work platform. That's what's running now in Singapore. We've already signed this, and this is now in the process of implementation. Airtel Africa is a subsidiary of Airtel, but just to show you the advantage or the benefit of scaling, this is already there in five of the countries. The data engine is there, the Serve platform is there, IQ is there. All of that is already in Airtel Africa, and that's powering their improved performance, as you would have seen recently when they announced the results. Globe in Philippines is the largest telecom operator. They have taken our Serve platform that's enabling complete omni-channel experience for them. Indus Towers has already picked up our Work platform, and Airtel Payments Bank has the full suite, both the data engine as well as the cloud and the platform that I talked about. And the second thing I would say is that I have personally done over 60 to 70, I met 60 to 70 customers across several cities. We've done roundtables as a group, and there is a lot of interest in the cloud because it's solving a genuine problem. So that's really what I would say. I would go on to underscore that this is truly a pivotal moment in our history, because from being just a telecom service provider, we are now entering the technology domain. We are solving technology problems, and we're moving from beyond being a telecom service provider to being a technology solution provider. So it's the same TSP, but it just means a different thing. And I think the seminal moment is the launch of Airtel Cloud along with these AI-powered platforms that are being taken to market. So with that, I'm going to stop and hand over to Kinshuk.
Thanks, Gopal. We'll take questions now. So the mic will reach you. We would just request you to, introduce yourself and ask the question. And I would only request you to kind of ask question around this announcement because,
Yeah, I just want to underscore that I can't comment on our results and anything that's forward-looking because we haven't announced our results. That's going to happen tomorrow. So I'll, restrict myself, given that we're in a closed period, to the questions on the announcements that have been made today. Yeah, please go ahead.
So what kind of revenue are you looking from this?
Well, I think, I wouldn't set a target in terms of revenue. I think for me, the more important thing is, are we able to solve problems for customers and actually onboard customers? So I spoke to you about the two sort of non-subsidiary customers that we've already onboarded. There are several more in the funnel and in the pipeline. We would like to also, we're talking to several domestic companies to take the entire suite of our cloud proposition. So hopefully, if we are standing here a year from now, we should have many more customers on our roster. But if you're standing here a decade from now, I would say that this should become a very sizable business, because this is not a 1 quarter or 2 quarter situation. This is a long game, but it's really the start point of Airtel demonstrating its capabilities to be in a very, very different space.
Hi, Gopal. Rodendra from Business Line. Just wanted to understand what will be the Nextra's role in this for your cloud services?
That's a very good question. I think on cloud, there are 4 parts to the cloud. One is data centers. Nextra will be the data center provider, and Nextra is now putting in substantial investments into data center. We'll talk more about this in the coming months. So that's one. The second is you need a customized network and really a resilient network. That is something that we do for a living. So that's very important. The third is what you need is storage, and the fourth is compute. Today, what we're doing is bringing all of it together. So you've got the Nextra data centers where our cloud is being hosted. We have 2 locations, one in Delhi and the other in Chennai. So there are 2 instances and 2 regions, if you like. Both of these are Nextra data centers where the cloud is hosted. There are multiple path terrestrial connectivity as well as OPGW connectivity to these locations, which is our network side. And now we're bringing storage and compute into the proposition, so the cloud proposition becomes a holistic one.
So will you be hosting the data of Singapore and Africa also here, or would you be setting
well,
up?
that could be hosted in any cloud, because that depends on where Singapore or Philippines wants to host it. I think in this case, it'll probably be, some of it will be on other cloud players, but that is a software play. The reason we brought all of this together is because all of this is part of the full stack of services we're offering. Cloud at the base and software above that. But the software is largely today talking to telcos. That is not to say that this software can't address beyond telcos, but the credibility that we have with telcos is much higher because of the scale and what we've done ourselves. So that's where we're starting today.
Hi, sir. Is there any kind of telco that you are kind of targeting as a customer for this around the world? For instance, are you focusing initially on global South telcos where the market conditions are similar to ours, or is this something?
No, like I think if you contrast Singapore and Philippines, they couldn't be more dissimilar to each other. One is a very developed market, almost 100% of it, or maybe 95% of it is post-pay. It's not a growing market. On the other hand, Philippines is a little bit closer to the kind of market that we have, and therefore, those are dissimilar markets. And the reason we've announced the 2 today, because we have now firm contracts with them and we've started onboarding them, but they're dissimilar. Now, the same thing is applying. So whether it is in any part of the world, this could extend.
Yeah, and on the telco-grade cloud.
And Africa is totally different from India.
Absolutely.
Because it's much more. It's a little bit behind in terms of its data penetration and maturity of digital services. So this can go anywhere. This is really about being more efficient at your core, doing things in a way that's more cost efficient and at the same time drives additional growth.
Right. And on the telco cloud, the DPDP Act, which you mentioned, does not have a hard localization mandate.
No,
right?
but
So, are you looking forward to any supply side demand side
I
interventions?
think let that decision be taken by the regulators.
But
I think,
agnostic of that decision, you are still confident that this is a product that will find.
For certain types of segments and customers, it would be deeply relevant. Right? So many regulated entities would like for example, in our case, we cannot put a lot of the data that we have outside on the public cloud. It's the same for many banks and insurance companies and financial services. But at the same time, there are others who can. The question then is, what is your proposition to get that pool as well? And I think that there are certain specific total cost of ownership-led propositions coupled with the bundling in of the network and the data centers and all of that, that I think makes us offer a compelling position in the marketplace.
Just one last thing, sir. Are you looking to open any new locations for Nextra beyond Delhi and Chennai?
Well, Nextra is currently in Delhi. It's in Chennai. It's got very large facilities in the west, in Bombay and in other parts of the west. It's also in the east in Calcutta. It's got Bangalore. We are in the process of building out Hyderabad. We've got Calcutta. So Nextra serves everyone. But Nextra is also the data center where our cloud is hosted.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Jasvi Gupta from Financial Express. Since you gave us the segue that Airtel is moving towards a very different dynamic, maybe somewhere towards cloud computing and towards artificial intelligence, proper segue, since even Xtelify is an AI-powered software platform. And with the recent bundling with Perplexity, so are we looking forward to Airtel maybe owning an LLM or something of that sort in the near future, given
I don't
the past
think
dynamic?
we've quite crossed that point. I think the amounts of investments that are going on around the world on LLMs are astronomical. Yeah. And I think we would much rather use the public LLMs that are already there, combine that with small language models, which are relevant for the kind of business that we run, and make it much sharper. We're already beginning to do things like that. So some of the stuff that we talked about on the platforms, we are now trying to inject AI at the very heart of the platforms to make sure that the roadmaps over the next 12 months and 24 months is more AI ready. So that I think is something that we will do. But if you're asking us the question whether we are going to invest in our own large language models, the answer is no, unlikely.
Okay, lovely.
Hi, sir. This is Sahel. First table to us.
Yeah.
Hi. Jatin Grover from Mint. Just wanted to know, this sovereign cloud concept is not new. I think in the country, there are many players who are doing it. So what makes Airtel's offering stand out from others? I think your competitor also has, that's one.
Yeah, I wouldn't comment on our competitors. I think what I would say is that there's an intangible quality about Airtel which is important, which is, I think, given our deep relationships with the top customers of the country, enterprise customers, there is a degree of comfort and trust in the Airtel brand. I think that's the first thing that I would say. The second is, it is telco-grade. So to that extent, it's really reliable because all of the telco applications run on it. And remember, when you compare an IT application with a telco application, you expect more resilience. You expect more reliability. So that's I think for mission critical applications, it's a very powerful advantage to have. The third thing I would say is that combining the network, and this is not a small thing, I just sort of brushed over it. The network combined with the cloud is a very strong value proposition because that's what enables us to reduce the total cost of ownership. If you were to take the network separately and the cloud separately, your cost of ownership jumps up. And the reason we are able to save 30 to 40% of cost for people moving their workloads to us is simply because of the capacity to bundle these two disparate things and bring it together, which is in any case mission critical for any cloud application. So I think those are the things. Of course, it's sovereign, which is an addition to the additional benefit for many regulated entities. I have met customers, and I'll give you one example of a customer. I'm not going to name the customer, but the customer said to me, I want to talk to somebody who I can see across the table. And if I can pick up the phone and speak to you and say, I've got a problem here, come and sort it out. That's a big advantage that customers have. We are in India, we're serving customers in India, and we're passionate about, serving them well in the country. So I think those are some of the intangible qualities in addition to the cost advantage and the reliability advantage.
And this 40% reduction in TCO which you're talking about, how that number is derived? Like what's the benchmark for this maybe?
Yeah, I think one of the tools that we have developed is what's called a cloud analyzer. So if you're a company, and we've demonstrated that to our customers, in fact we're in the process of demonstrating that to several customers. So if you're a customer and you give us a bill, right? And these bills can run into 100 pages, by the way. They're very complicated bills. You just give it to us and you just upload it as a PDF file. We will give you what is your spend, how is that spend being aggregated in a pie chart, which could be just sort of 4 or 5 dimensions, and say what is it likely to be if you're on Airtel Cloud. That is seen as a very powerful, and by the way, customers charge for it. We are offering this free of cost right now. Simply because we want customers to experience it and say, where is the saving that you... So we want to bring this alive in a very tangible way to our customers, and that's what we've done in the roundtables that we've already conducted.
And also, can you talk about the investments gone into Xtelify at the moment?
Over the last 5-6 years, all our investments have gone into Xtelify. So all our digital platforms, all our people costs, all our digital applications, even the cloud investments that we make. Cloud needs large investments as you keep going forward. Of course, it's modular because as you get growth, you can keep investing. Much like our network, our radio investments are also modular. So, capital is not a constraint. Whatever is required, we've been putting significant sums of money over the course of the last few years.
And one last question is this technology? The sovereign cloud. Is Airtel's own technology? We've partnered with maybe a Google or somebody?
No, this is, we have orchestrated it ourselves. We've been using this, we've been doing it ourselves. Of course, we partner with companies. So like, for example, runs on Dell machines. Because that's what you need a server to run these things. We don't have our own servers. We use Dell servers. At the same time, you need security applications. So you'll buy security from the best of breed people, and so on and so forth. So we put together a whole bunch of software and partners and orchestrated this ourselves, but this is our own cloud. But we are not averse to partnering with others for specific areas where a partner can add value. We're not averse to that. I mean, somebody was asking about Perplexity. Our philosophy is that we do build ourselves, but at the same time, we are delighted to work with partners. So we'll do both. So Perplexity, we don't want to build our LLM, but Perplexity has done it, and we partnered with them. So that, I think, combination is what we bring. Where we can add value, we do it on our own. Where we think somebody else can add value better, we will build up. I'll give you an example of the software platforms. We have over 120 open source softwares that are working off those platforms, which we are now extended to Singtel and Globe, which are, by the way, completely orchestrated by our own engineers. They're open source. You don't have licensing costs. But somebody needs to orchestrate it. And you cannot discount how complex that is to orchestrate for a scale like the way we operate at.
Hi, Gopal. Danish from Money Control here.
Yeah, hi, Danish.
Hi. Last year, Airtel partnered with NVIDIA to source Gaudi 3
Sorry,
GPU.
with whom?
With Intel for their Gaudi 3 chipset.
Yeah.
And earlier this year, the company said the company will not be a first mover player in the GPU as a service space. Have you been working on the strategy, or have you finalized? How is it
No,
panning
not
out?
yet. We're not yet announced anything or entering anything on the GPU side yet.
But do you think that in the midterm you will have a play in the GPU space?
Well, I think that that world is moving so rapidly that we don't, and let me step back. I think the growth of AI for enterprises, right, over a period of time will obviously change the way enterprises work. But how that is going to exactly play out is still unclear to most companies. Now, in our case, as I mentioned, we've tried to inject this right at the platforms. We've tried to find ways to differentiate ourselves, like spam is a great example. But the fact is that unless these become more real, right, for enterprises, some of that is still a moonshot for us from our perspective. Now, it's not a moonshot for the companies that are making those investments, but it's a moonshot for us. Second is that you're seeing a dramatic improvement in the quality of the chipsets and the processing power of the chipsets and the cost of the chipset, which is declining every year. So for all of those reasons, we are waiting and watching. We have not taken any decision, but certainly we're not in it right now.
But are you using GPUs internally for certain
that we
services?
do.
Okay, sure.
That we do for our own small language models and some of our AI capabilities. Yeah.
Hi Gopal, Pratap from CapTable. A few things. So this, the offerings that you have showed us, is this, so essentially this is, just trying to understand, this is SaaS.
Yeah.
Like these are like vertical applications for work, serve, data engine.
Yeah.
So essentially these are SaaS, which will be part of this whole sovereign cloud offerings.
SaaS can also go on to other clouds. So let's say, for example, theoretically, if you're in Singapore, they decide to be, let's say, on Google. I don't know which cloud they're using, by the way. Then that SaaS application will be on Google. On the other hand, if they have their own private cloud, on their own Singapore cloud, can also go onto that cloud. So this can be ported into any cloud. These are SaaS applications, as you rightly said. And then underlying that, you need a cloud, you need a cloud stack. That cloud stack in India is Airtel Cloud for Indian customers. But the SaaS side is a global play.
Got it. And so when you, because you have been working on this for some time, so has there been any sort of a cost advantages for Airtel itself?
Yeah.
When you have kind of what you said about data engine, that that's one place where you kind of, that's a secret sauce that you have.
Yeah.
So it put together everything, has there been sort of a cost optimization, saving?
Well, I'll give you a piece of statistic. Like, and I mentioned that earlier. If you look at our costs, our technology costs, right, as a percentage of revenue, that is in very, very low single digits. It's sub 2%, right, as a percentage of revenue. If you compare that with most operators around the world, they vary between 6 to 12%. So the fact is that we have done something here which has been able to drive a tremendous level of efficiency. And by the way, you must also understand, we're talking about 360 million customers. It's not a small country. We're talking about 250 petabytes of data. So at that scale, to drive that cost down to a bone and yet be able to build a resilient infrastructure, drive industry-beating ARPUs, drive greater personalization, greater bundling across different lines of business. That's really what, most companies, when you talk to them, they look at it and say, we want to hear more.
Got it. Just one last bit, that the data center, as one of my colleagues asked this question, that will Nextra also be housed under this? And overall,
Nextra is a separate company.
Will be a separate company.
It's a separate.
And where does this sit? I mean, will this be under Airtel Business?
Under Bharti Airtel.
Okay.
As a legal entity, it's under Bharti Airtel.
And within Airtel, this will be a part of Airtel Business?
It gets consolidated within Airtel Business, yes.
Thank you.
Hi. Here. Ajit Jha from UNI. I just wanted to know, you said that it will be free of cost right now. So when do you plan to start charging for this, and what kind of revenue?
Charging for what?
Charging for this cloud service.
No, cloud we will sell. We're not going to...
Okay.
I only said the cloud analyzer we will offer free of cost in order for them to analyze their... This terminology in the cloud parlance is called FinOps, financial operations, where basically you take a bill, you look at the bill, you break it down through the model that we have. Customer obviously many times don't understand the bill because it's 100 pages of complex stuff. I mean, you should see one of the cloud bills and then you will be surprised. And we put it into the, you just convert into any PDF file, upload it, and it'll tell you exactly what your spend is and what you could potentially save. That capability we've offered free of cost. So, not the cloud. No.
It will be chargeable in the future. So what kind of, will it be chargeable in the future?
Which? The FinOps?
In this service, FinOps.
The cloud
service.
analyzer is free.
Okay. And what kind of, then there is no question of revenue, right?
No. I'm sorry, you're confused. The cloud analyzer is free, but if you're selling the cloud, that will be fully chargeable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of revenue target is for that?
You already asked the question, I answered it. I'm not putting a revenue target right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Firstly, congratulations on the launch of Xtelify. A couple of questions. I'm laboring on the same point because this is clearly a commercial venture for you. Can you give us some clarity? I know you're not sharing numbers, but some clarity in terms of maybe 5 years down the line, what is the kind of revenue split that you'd want to look at between cloud and telecom operations?
I really can't give you a number on that. I think, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves right now. I think we have, today sort of marks a seminal point in the fact that we've actually made this baby step, right? And this baby step is backed by real work that's happening on the ground, not just in our own environment, but also in what other companies are seeing the value of. And I think if this baby step works out, this will be obviously Airtel will not launch anything to be a small business, so it will be a sizable business. And that, if it were not a sizable business, then it would be a lot of effort down the drain. So it has to be sizable.
We have time for one more question, I guess.
Yeah, I just have one more question, sir. Just wanted to follow up. When you're looking at the issues of building capacity going forward, there's currently a cap on India at 50,000 GPUs from the US. Is that something that you think will come in the way if you look at further expansion?
Don't know. I don't think I'll be able to even answer that question. I was not aware of this, and I don't think it's relevant for us because we are not in that business. Whatever GPUs we need for our own needs in our cloud environment as well, that's not a problem. We can offer it to customers.
Fair enough, sir. Thank you.
Hi, this is Sandeep.
I take just one last question and then stop. Yeah.
So if we look most of the solutions, not most of them, all of them are for the enterprise thing. But if we look at the consumer side of the things, the end consumers, one of the data that pointed out almost 67% of the consumers are now using cloud services for storing their data, number one, for accessing softwares, even like Microsoft 360 and all those stuff. Any plan for getting the services for the consumer also as of now?
No, not. I think, the model on charging for storage on the cloud is right now, most of it is being given away free. And the price that people charge is a freemium model which is beyond a certain need. We have no intentions of right now of getting into that space, no.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll do a quick bite in case television channel wants to have a quick bite here. We can have it on the stage.